Aloha. I'm 21 minutes in to the Ant-Man and Wasp Marvel movie, and I had like the inkling to watch this movie with like commentary in the background, but I just decided just to watch it and just hang out. But I felt like I should because from the beginning they started talking about the quantum realm, and what's her name, Catwoman in here, I can't remember her name. She went, one of the ladies saved the world, or not saved the world, but saved a whole bunch of people from dying because she went subatomic and made a missile crash into the ocean or something, saved a bunch of people, but she got trapped in the quantum realm. So before I go any further, there are going to be spoilers in here because I'm going to break this down probably chunk by chunk if I keep going into like what's going on. But I had to stop it right here because up until that point it's been about the same. The only thing that happened until right before this point was the CERN programming was obvious in reference to the machine that they need to build to go see if his wife and her mother is still alive in the quantum realm or in the subatomic realm, wherever she is. In order to go back there, they had to build this machine. This machine looks like a rectangular version of the CERN machine. And the CERN machine is all about the quantum realm and breaking open barriers and bridges and all that other stuff. Anyway, the reason why I said this is because, or a reason why I stopped and definitely started doing a video right now is because the proof of this was, well, not proof, but just something that I thought was very interesting in reference to how I've been saying CERN fits in with the Mandela effect and that whole things changing and so on and so forth, or things appearing to be changing, however, whatever you feel about that whole situation. The third aspect of this was obviously the Marvel programming and the mirroring of the Scientism community and so on and so forth. Like Marvel and DC is the like the sugar coating around that poison that is downloading into your, like conditioning you into the church of Scientism. So Marvel and DC are obviously like I said, they're the cartoon, they're the most deeply programming versions of that, because they make you believe more about your reality from the Scientism perspective than even the public education system. People go pay money to go see Marvel and DC movies, specifically Marvel, because they create entire universes. Those universes are designed and based upon the original illusory universe. So these are illusory universes within illusory universes, and those like double illusion universes are designed to sell you the artificial so-called real life universe. That's why they have to sell you this superhero cartoon, and then trigger you with all your celebrities and all your emotional triggering and so on and so forth. And in political scenes, that's why people are starting to realize a lot of the political agendas that are in like the Star Wars movies and the Marvel movies, all this other stuff, this politically correct sort of thing. So just as much as there's political correctness, you have to understand that there's other things that are involved with mind control, that like so-called white supremacy, or not so-called white supremacy, but actual white supremacy, and just like everything that's in there, it's designed to have a particular effect on you outside of obviously what the commercial is showing. So anyway, The thing that I wanted to tie in, people who are interested in the Mandela effect stuff, when I wanted to tie in why I stopped it at this point is because when Michael Douglas shrunk the building and started rolling it away on like wheels, it triggered the Mandela effect time frame where people were, seeing that buildings were either appearing or disappearing, and they don't know, where these buildings came from or where they went. So stuff like that's been happening. It's not at all a coincidence that, this movie is heavily based on the quantum realm in reference to or specifically in reference to CERN and that whole scientism agenda. So from my perspective, that I've been coming from in reference to the Mandela effect for the last few years now, has been always referencing it and connecting to CERN from either mostly from the agenda perspective. So those two things, the Mandela effect, people can say it's a stretch to say the building shrinking is referencing the Mandela effect or not. To me, it seems kind of obvious, especially if they're talking about CERN and quantum, all this other stuff. Anyway, it just doesn't seem like a coincidence at all. And I wanted to at least put this frame of thought together before I forget it, so I can move on from here, but also kind of put this stamp this one out and show people this is your confirmation that the puppeteers and whatever are moving more towards combining stuff like the Mandela effect and CERN and so forth towards whatever kind of agenda or information they try to push on us in the, I think, very near future, especially if it's already in movies like Marvel and all this other stuff. The CERN program is getting ready to be activated pretty soon. These movies are all prep work. This is the preconditioning, so you can believe and accept whatever the university pastors and preachers sell you in the next agenda. So I'll pause this right now and then turn the movie back on, and I'll jump back in a second. I guess it's not gonna pause. Guys. All right, so I just finished the movie. What did she call it? She said molecular dismemberment. I don't know. Something. Basically, this whole movie was the comic book advertising zine. This is the zine, the comic book, the advertising comic book for CERN and whatever kind of quantum agenda is sold within or behind or in the aftermath of CERN. So CERN, as most people know in reference to all this information, was started around the same time, I think a year apart from the origins of NASA. And how I explain CERN's role in this whole New World Order agenda and so on and so forth is that CERN is the real or the next agenda. It's that it's Plan A and Plan B were all started at the same time. Plan A was supposed to work for as long as it could, which was NASA, and Plan B, which was started like a year before NASA, which is the CERN program. That what was it? That was the actual program. Like the first part was just a distraction and to create like the bad guys, whereas the same intelligence behind both systems also created CERN, which is so. Anyway, the CERN. So the CERN program or the CERN agenda in reference to this movie that I've seen is, and I realized this before the actual end of the movie. Okay, so spoiler alerts again, major of the whole movie. The Michelle Pfeiffer's character, the mother in there, she's the one who has been trapped in the quantum realm. While she's in the quantum realm, she gains these basically superpowers. They're healing powers. She ended up healing one of the villainous characters in the movie with her hands. So they turned Catwoman into a god because she was trapped in the quantum realm. And now she's back. And I don't want to go into the political character versions like involving the Asian FBI, the Asian FBI guy, and then there's the Mexican comic relief guys. Like these are all second-rate characters. While this is the same agenda that goes on in all these movies, you have these second-rate minorities, while the superheroes are what? They're the white Oscars. It's the same thing again. So as long as that storyline keeps getting played in order to affect us a certain way, I will continue to mention it. So this is the thing that people who get in butthurt in their feelings in the comment section about me mentioning this stuff. Check yourself in realizing this fact. I wouldn't have to mention these issues if they didn't fucking exist in the first place. So why not trying observing the fact that these problems still exist in the first place instead of attacking the individuals who are shedding light on the fact that these problems exist in the first place? Ant-Man and Wasp, that movie, that Marvel movie, that whatever, that connected to that blockbuster production company. That movie came out last year. It's January 2019, and they are still selling these stereotypical keep the masses in check characters throughout Hollywood. This is what's happening. The Mexican character in there is getting all, he's the comic relief. He's like, oh yeah, I wish I had a suit. You know, like everybody else has got a suit. I wish I had a suit. Just give me a suit. It doesn't even have to be like having superpowers. I just want a suit, you know. So this is the whole kind of like, oh, we finally got one in Marvel. This is the concessions of like I've been talking about. People, I'm not going to go into it, but you know what I'm talking about in that breakdown. So anyway, so you had that. I'm glad I didn't go too deep into that. So you had that, the healing mechanism, like, okay, that was when, in the movie. So obviously the Marvel movies have the after whatever end credits parts. I don't know if they had a second end credit part. If there was two end credit parts, because I'm not going to turn it back on. If there was another one after the initial end credits, somebody let me know in a comment section so I can go back and watch the movie or watch the extra end part, because I only saw the first end part. And this first end part confirmed everything that I had assumed was the intention with the CERN agenda, which was to when I first saw it in that part in the movie before the end credits, was using CERN as some kind of healing sales as like to sell CERN with some kind of healing sales pitch. So like I've said, the new age community, the new world order, and all their systems involved in that storyline are going to be calibrated in the near future, and already are calibrating themselves to be sold to the people, to the masses, as something beneficial. So the New World Order will be sold to you as something beneficial, to humanity or the earth and so on and so forth. Where CERN fits in is, I wouldn't be surprised if, something like that was used, like CERN being used to, at least they could just, fake some shit like that. They could just say, oh yeah, we've done this, because who's really going to have access to CERN? Nobody. It's only going to be government people, just like NASA. So they can say anything. They can say that they are actually sending people into the quantum realm like a fucking Stargate, and they're coming back with these healing particles. That is to, take it literally, but like on that extreme. But that's how the movies work. They sell you the big storyline, and then on the real life, in the real world, in the scientism community, they say, well, just kind of like Ant-Man and Wasp illustrated. And when they went to the quantum realm and retrieved these healing particles, we've discovered this new healing God particle. It's like the God particle, but it's not a God particle. It's some kind of healing particle. And once we get enough money funded into this program, we can go get some more quantum healing particles. So another check off the block was to have Lawrence Fishburne in there. Obviously he's the whole Morpheus character, and he checks off blocks all across the board, adds credibility, people believe it more. He was part of the Matrix and so on and so forth. He's also part of like revealing information, so or in reference to like the signal. He's attached to these particular movies that people believe are part of like a true underground truther Hollywood thing, the same way people believe like there's good people within these systems or trying to whatever. Anyway, so that's basically the gist of the rest of the movie. Yeah, CERN looks to be being played even more so in the near future, especially now that NASA is imploding. I've been saying this for a while now. CERN is going to be the contingency or the backup plan B for the NASA implosion. They're gonna go quantum. This is what it is, and that's why the guy in the movie said, "Do you guys just put the word quantum in front of everything? Is that what you guys do?" That's exactly what the scientism community does. It's kind of like a spell. They say it over and over and over again. Eventually, you're gonna believe it as your reality. The same way heliocentrism has worked on us. So let's see if I can remember anything else. What did she say? What was that actual word? It was not the refractor. Molecular disentanglement or something. No, because the entanglement part was quantum entanglement. That was another version that we were trying to sell to people. Another part was kind of subconsciously programmed was the quantum realm having kind of similar vibes or feel of kind of like an ayahuasca trip or a DMT trip, or those are kind of like, and people who are seeing like the connections with Joe Rogan and DMT and the quantum, that whole space. So you can see how that fits into the picture too. Joe Rogan speaking to all the psychedelic, what's the guy's name? Graham Hancock type of people that are the new age section of the New World Order specifically in reference to psychedelics, DMT, and the interpretation of what those realities, quote unquote, really are, because that's what the system is based upon, ensuring that it is the authority of your reality. This is what all this stuff really boils down to: the authority of interpreting your reality. Heliocentrism breaks down the authority of you interpreting your reality, the authority of how you interpret yourself. This is all based upon the physical human limitation program to parasite and so on and so forth. So I don't want to get into that too much. Other videos have gone into details, that before. So I'll leave it there. And thank you for joining me. Until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.